It's a monsoon in the fourth quarter. Justin takes it knee one more time, runs to the north end zone. They all belly flop into the end zone like little kids on the playground during a rainstorm, just having fun. These baby Bears are 1-0.
Welcome to Bears' new front office coaching staff and roster with a good look today in the slop at Soldier Field, beating the Niners 19-10. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Bears Game Night Live here on Fox. I'm Lou Canellis, Jeff Joniak, and Tom Thayer join me here on set to talk about the Bears' season opening winner. All right, Jeffrey, good to see you.
Nice
I
to
love
see
the
you.
smile. I know everyone's in a good mood here. That's what happens when the Bears win. Few believe the Bears could win. The Bears believe themselves that they knew they could win, and it showed today.
They've been talking about it for weeks, you know. We're going to surprise people. We kept hearing that. And you know what? First week of the season, it's always like this, right? You never know what's going to happen. Tom and I keep calling it the great unknown. But there is a resolve to this bunch. There's a lot of guys marginalized in that locker room from how they got to the NFL to how they got overlooked, to how people are viewing them in the big picture. Now let's see if they can grow these roots, so to speak, and keep going in this direction.
Tom, what did you like most about today's win?
Just the resiliency of the whole game. You know, no one came out here and had a belief that they were in a losing position. Even when they went into the locker room at halftime, I was walking around the booth going, okay, I like where we're at. I think we're okay. I was interested to see what the message Matt was going to deliver to his team. So they came out of the locker room at the second half with confidence. And I think he was able to do that, tell Justin he's finally starting to get warmed up, and let's get this thing back on track.
All right, let's look at the highlights, guys, because they were fun highlights today. And we're going to start with you, Jeffrey. Early in the first, Niners within striking distance, and number 33 wearing the number, proud and reminding us of the Peanut Punch.
Yeah, Peanut was in the house, too. They're so proud of him for that. Just a guy going by. Hey, that will look good on tape tomorrow when they start looking through the tape to see where the loafs were and stuff. There are no accidents in Matt Eberflus's world of taking the ball away.
All right, Tommy, 49ers defense answers with a takeaway of their own here.
Yeah, you know, I just think it was throw into a crowded area by Justin Fields. Straight drop back, got the solid protection, but just put it into an area where there's too many white jerseys.
Jeff, after a scoreless first quarter, 49ers start to open things up.
Yeah, you know, they had a lot of misdirection, a lot of guys moving. It's a shell game. He can find the guys going to the sideline. It's the short throws that are trouble right now for Trey Lance.
And then Tom Samuel then finds the end zone.
Determined run here. He saw the goal line and he didn't care who was in front of him. He was going to lower his 200-pound-plus frame and be physical at the end.
Jeff, 49ers start the second half with a big passing play.
Yeah, you know, Juwan Jennings got behind Kyler Gordon there. Big 44-yard play. Really a developing slot receiver in this league. He came on strong mid-last year.
But, Tom, Bears stand their ground in the red zone.
Yeah, they did. A great job here by Dominic Robinson and a nice read by Roquan Smith. They combined on the sack and limited the success.
Robbie Gould made it 10-0 Niners. Jeff, Justin Fields finally gets the Bears on the board.
Yeah, this might have been the match that lit the fire. Dante Pettis was just hanging out there waiting for that baby to fall into his hands. But a terrific block by Equanimeous St. Brown to spring him free in the final way. They finished that play in a big way.
Tommy, in the fourth, Fields is going to strike again here.
Yeah, you know, he didn't panic. He didn't rush anything. He saw a receiver wide open, so rather than try to bullet into his chest, he floated it over the top of his shoulder, let him run underneath it for a very comfortable catch in that type of atmosphere.
Jeffrey, is Bojack back?
Yes, Les, I think so. He's got a good mind right now, mentally good, spiritually good, physically good. 26-yard return. They're 11-0 when he picks off a pass.
Tom, Khalil Herbert finds Pater.
Yeah, you know, point of attack to the right side. He reads the cave into the backside, makes it easy, cut back all the way to the end zone.
Jeffrey, Bears held off the Niners late and start the season 1-0.
Doesn't look like the same field anymore, does it? Where's our game? It just disappeared. But yeah, that was the heave and nothing doing. Ball game over. Bears get the win. Fade to black moment.
19-10, Bears winner. Look at that. You ever do that when you play, Tom?
No, never had the chance to play on a field that soggy with that beautiful Bermuda surface. I would have liked to do it. I would still like to do it at this age.
That was a slip and slide for sure.
These are the final numbers brought to you by LRS. Tom, sloppy day on the football field, but one of the major reasons the Bears win today is because they weren't sloppy with the penalties.
You're right. You know, the Bears had 3 penalties. San Francisco had 12. But out of those 12 penalties, 5 of them led to first downs. And you just think of that combination of how many more plays are offered to the Bears and if it gets them in a scoring position. 12 for 99, even though they had 331 yards of offense. It's a big deterrent to overall success.
Anything you notice on that
Well,
numbers?
I don't know if they're there because I don't have my glasses on right now. But they won the red zone. They won the penalty matchup for this football game, and they were much better overall in the big picture of the things that really will irritate a coach, including special teams penalties and miscues. So Bears won the turnover battle as well. That's going to get you a few wins.
All right, Tommy, give us the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois player of the game.
You know, when you look at what Justin Fields did in his first week, when there was no panic, he had a pressure on him early. He was able to find receivers. So, you know, when you look at these plays, you know, you watch the feet of Justin Fields. When he can get out in the open and convert a play like this into a first down opportunity, might have been a little bit short of the first down, but turned it into a positive run. Now you open up the awareness of the defense. Here, he makes a guy miss in the open space. He's able to, again, with determination, to turn it upfield and get beyond that first down marker, keep his football team on the field. And then you look at Justin here. He's able to escape, doesn't keep his eyes off of the receiver to the opposite side of the field. He had Cole Kmet underneath initially, but then he found Pettis. But again, EQ St. Brown downfield making a block for his teammate and allowing him to get in the end zone. And then you see Justin here again, a little bit of a play fake, sees a wide open receiver, Pringle to the opposite side of the field, allows him to make the easy catch and again continue the drive with the first down. And again, we talked about this floater pass before. No panic, no rush, stayed in a real good timing and tempo and floated it to the receiver.
Jeffrey, did you feel that when he started to move out of the pocket, the rollouts, that the offense started to catch fire a little bit?
Well, I think the big play did, and just other circumstances. You know, I've talked about this before. I want this team to be as annoying as possible. And what do you know? In the postgame, Nick Bosa used the term annoying to describe the day. And mostly it was the penalties they committed and the missed opportunities that they had. But the Bears playing hard to the finish in all the ways that Matt Eberflus has suggested they will from this day forward can be annoying. They're not going to maybe blow up the scoreboard every week. Every game may be like this the rest of the season. But we're going to find out what happens.
All right, we need to take our first time out here on Bears Game Night Live. Coming up, we're going to go inside the Bears locker room. Keep it right here on Bears Game Night Live.
Game Night Live is brought to you by LRS, Miller Lite, Advocate Healthcare, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, and United Airlines.
You got mental and physical stamina, right? So when you get people in the second half, you got them right where you need them. Yes, sir. Right? You got them right where you need them. Okay, so that's what hard work does, is building a foundational floor it does for you. When we stand up, the foundation, you stand on that, and then you get tighter, you get together. It's always going to be about us. It doesn't matter if it's a red jersey, a white jersey, or a green jersey, or a purple jersey. No one cares. It's always going to be about us. Together! Yes, we can! Yeah. 2 game balls. One to the head coach, first development. Right over here. Great GM, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, hands up, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bears.
Welcome back to Bears Game Night Live here on Fox 32 Chicago. Great look inside the Bears locker room there right after the win. Luke Cadellis, Tom Thayer, and Jeff Joniak. I'll tell you what, that gets me fired up, doesn't it?
Hey, because
your
young quarterback has got a smile on his face and he's handing out game balls.
I know.
That's a good thing.
To the head coach and the general manager.
Right. But it's not too goofy. It's just a serious approach to after a victory and where we have to go the next week. So, you know, I just like the atmosphere inside that winning locker room.
Tell me about what you liked most from Roquan Smith today.
I like the way he kind of gained momentum into the game. Jeff was mentioned during the course of the game that he had 1 tackle in the first half, and what do you have, 8 or 9 in the second half. But when you look at Roquan Smith's responsibility, it's never one-dimensional. You see here him at the linebacker position. First of all, he's got to cover Kyle Juszczyk, and then he sees a little bit of pressure on the quarterback, and then he's able to close the distance and help Dominique Robinson with that sack. Nice job first, stopping the fullback in his path. Here again, he's got a right responsibility. He's going to drop in coverage. As soon as he sees the quarterback scramble, he's able to come up and keep him short of the first down. Multiple responsibilities, but still making the play. In here, he gets in his drop zone. He's able to get fingertips on the football, have the football float above the receiver, and create the incompletion. In a dry atmosphere, in another week, this turns into an interception. But as Roquan Smith is picking up momentum of the position, expect bigger things from him.
Jeff, the Bears defense made Deebo Samuel a non-factor in this game.
Thank goodness, because he was a factor last year, and he's been a factor all around the league. That's second in the NFL. And Yak, he's a big paid receiver, and he's a guy that's tough to put down to the ground. So let's see how the Bears defended him, because overall in the first half, he had 46 yards on 7 touches. Here again is the punch out and the fumble recovery by Brisker. Bang, bang play by that young secondary. Then you get him in this situation where in the flat, stops his feet a little bit, loses the ball. When you slow him down and make him stop and regenerate that push, that's when there's trouble for him. Here again, stopping his feet. They get to him, and 3 or 4 guys put him down to the ground. Matthew Adams there along with Gordon in that play. And then on these handoffs, similar situation. Create opportunities by getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys to the ball on that one. His second half, 20 yards on 3 touches overall, 66-10. He did have a decent start to this football game, and I was concerned because they kept giving him the ball right from the first snap of the game, right? Or second snap of the game, him and Ayuk. So that's a guy you don't want to get his train going, because he is very difficult.
All right, we need to step aside. When we come back, we're going to highlight a breakout rookie performance right here on Bears Game Night Live.
Overall, I thought the guys, we had a little bit of rough sledding in the first half, and I thought that the guys came out in the second half. We gained some momentum in that drive, right before halftime. I thought that was really good, and that the defense was in the first half gave up a couple plays. We had to shore some things up in the halftime, so we did that. So I thought the guys did a nice job at halftime, and it's a 4-quarter game. You got to play the second half, and that's what we're built for. We always tell the guys, hey, we have mental and physical stamina for what reason? And it is because of the way we practice and the way we play, and we're able to stay focused when it is the second half.
Welcome back to Bears Game Night Live here on Fox. Lou Canellis along with Tom Thayer, Jeff Joniak. You just heard head coach Matt Eberflus there, brought to you by Athletico Physical Therapy. Jeff, I don't know if you heard Robert Quinn after the game talk about Dominique Robinson.
No.
But here's a veteran who's been in the league, 12 years now? 12th season? And he is just glowing about this rookie who they selected in the 5th round, who had a sack and a half today in his first NFL regular season game.
Yeah, but remind everybody what his roots are. This was a quarterback who turned to a receiver who played basically 1 year of defensive end at Miami of Ohio. He's as raw as the day is long. But boy, is he athletic, he's big, he's strong, and he understands the game very well. So what did he do today? He had 7 tackles, including a sack early. Just beat Mike McGlinchey here, the Notre Damer, to the quarterback, and it was technique that got the job done. Swiping past his hands and then ragdolling him, wouldn't let go with those big mitts and ripped him down to the ground. That's a 6'4", 225-pound quarterback he ripped down to the ground with one hand. Now here, he's dealing with Trent Williams with a little help from his friends, Roquan Smith and the guys. But as we look at this, Trent Williams basically should have been called for a holding penalty. He's grabbing his jersey. Last year, Trent Williams did not give up a sack. He gave up one right there, and a big reason why was number 91. And I am going to enjoy watching this guy develop. Again, first NFL game, you get 7 sacks and a sack and a half. Wow. Nice job.
And Tommy, he wasn't the only rookie that played well today.
Right. Nice to see Dominic Robinson. Then you got to think about Jaquan Brisker. You got to think of Kyler Gordon. You got to think of
Trenton Gill, the punter.
Yeah, Trenton Gill, the punter, did a nice job other than bringing the towel out in the field.
I forgot.
You got Braxton Jones playing offensive tackle against one of the most dominant pass rushers in the league. So with every one of these guys that have an opportunity to build a little bit of this foundation that Matt Eberflus talks about, they're being supported by the veterans on this football team. When you talk about the compliments of Robert Quinn and you look at Cody Whitehair, the way he helps out Braxton Jones, I think it's going to be an interesting development here as this roster goes. And you got to give a ton of credit to Ryan Poles, the general manager, because when he goes out there and thinks outside the box of what these players can ultimately turn into, it was nice to see the beginning of their careers today.
When I saw the stat sheet at the end of the game and it said 37 rushes, I knew that Tom Thayer was a happy man. Did you like the 1-2 punch with Montgomery and Herbert? Herbert was hitting it at 5 yards a pop.
I did. You know what? I like, the fact that, David Montgomery is going to get a lot of carries, and he's a physical runner, and he's going to take a toll on the defense because he's really punishing. But Khalil Herbert was super decisive. When you look at Khalil Herbert and his carries, he is direct to the point of attack. He has faith in his offensive line. He doesn't deviate to where he's supposed to hit the hole, and he's able to take it upfield and get close to the first down marker and get yourself in a 2nd and 2 situation. And then you look at his path on this play. Straight upfield, beyond the first down marker, into that 3rd level, making the defensive back make a tackle. And then if you look at this other one here, point of attack is over on the right side, sees the backside open up and is able to continue to get upfield. So I like everything you see out of Khalil Herbert. You like the speed. This is the bounce back here to the left-hand side and get across the goal line. I really like the compliment of David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert, and I like the 37 carries. Will they have 19 passes? So I like
He's a happy man. We need to take one final timeout. We're going to take a look at next week's opponent, the Green Bay Packers. Sunday Night Football here on Bears Game Night Live.
Game Night Live is brought to you by LRS, Athletico Physical Therapy, Ulta Equipment Company, and Bet Rivers.
Yeah, I think we were just trying to find a rhythm. We were dealing, the offense at least was dealing with long fields, and, our defense, I think they did a great job dealing with the short fields that they got, holding them in the red zone for 3 points on one of the drives. So, I think we were just trying to get in the rhythm, and, we were backed up. So, when you're backed up like that, you just can't use the whole playbook. But, second half, found a rhythm, and, we executed. So, proud of the guys.
Welcome back here to Bears Game Night Live. Lou Canellis, Tom Thayer, Jeff Joniak with you. Let's take a closer look at next week's matchup with the Green Bay Packers. It's brought to you by Bet Rivers. And Tom, Packers fell to the Vikings today in Minnesota 23-7. So now the Bears go up to Lambeau Field. What can you take, and I don't know how much of that game you saw, but what can the Bears take from what they saw Minnesota accomplish and hopefully do the same next week?
Well, this is a completely different quarterback than Kirk Cousins and Justin Fields. You got to use the athleticism of Justin Fields. You got to buy time for yourself outside the pocket. You better be organized on the line of scrimmage, because after getting beat by the Vikings, and this is their home opener, this is going to be an insane crowd. They hate the Bears. They are going to be loud. So just be organized in your center quarterback exchange.
Well, same thing happened last year. They got blown out by the Saints in week 1, and look what happened. They kept on rolling. Aaron Rodgers is still great, and it doesn't matter who's around him. He's got a running game. He's got Aaron Jones. Bears going to have to stop the run. That's first and foremost. They got a good 1-2 punch, as good as any in the league, and A.J. Dillon. And defensively, while their secondary got toasted by one of the premier receivers in football, I still think they're They got Jair Alexander and some other really impressive players, but they suffered some serious injuries today. So I don't quite know how that's all going to look. Pass rush got to Aaron Rodgers. Can the Bears generate that kind of pressure? That would be great.
Well, Vikings receiver Justin Jefferson, you touched on it, had 185 yards, 184, I think, receiving and a couple of touchdowns. Darnell Mooney was kind of silent today. Can he bust loose like Jefferson?
Oh, and listen, this is completely, I'm assuming it's going to be a nicer weather day than it was in this rainforest that was Chicago at Soldier Field. So, the Bears ran the ball 37 times, so there weren't many balls to go around. He got targeted 3 times. Cole Kmet didn't get targeted but 1 time. So those are things that they're going to have to incorporate into the offense. Everything in due time.
Tommy, you look at the Packers. Listen, I get it. I get it that he's a 4-time MVP, Aaron Rodgers is, but he does not have the weapons. You lose Davante Adams, who, by the way, lit it up for the Raiders today despite losing to the Chargers. You don't have the weapons that you had. Allen Lazard sits out with the injury. it can't make his job. He's not a magician. He can't throw it and catch it himself.
Well, they still have Aaron Jones and Dillon, the running back, that are two solid football players. But the thing about it is he's also missing two offensive linemen, David Bakhtiari and
Elton Jenkins.
So, they're asking Aaron Rodgers to overcome a lot. What you have to do as the Bears, you have to get in there and force the issue. You have to take advantage with the pass rushers that you're blessed with. Keep Aaron Rodgers inside the pocket. Try to get the ball out of his hands as inaccurately as you can. And, just be as physical as you possibly can be.
Most important, Jeff, coming off a big win like the Bears had today, it'll be good to go to practice this week and feel the confidence that this team has, despite being as young as it is.
Right, and Matt Eberflus is going to keep saying what he's going to keep saying. It's going to be a broken record for everybody. He's got his sayings and his standards, and we're going to take care of us. It's about us. You're going to keep hearing that the rest of the season, so that will be the theme this week.
All right, guys, have a good week.
Thanks.
All right, Lou.
That is it. We're out of time. For Tom and Jeff, thanks for watching. We'll see you Sunday for Bears Game Day Live at 10:30 before the Sunday Nighter right here on Fox. Have a great week, everyone.